YouTube is not a zero-sum game. I'm the Chris who plays games, and this is your CPG rant of the evening. Many people in the world of YouTube content creation are afraid of competitors because they are afraid that those competitors will reduce the views that their content gets. But the reality is that YouTube is not a zero-sum game. In general, we find that users who share content and collaborate and create similar content to others and can create a community around that content can grow their audiences. Of course, the most compelling and obvious answer or example of this for the YouTube gaming community or other things like that is the raids, and similar to Twitch and other services. I assume Mixer does the same thing. The raid is an idea that a content creator, when they are done, brings their audience to another content creator to say, hey, check this person out. By establishing connections to others in the community who are doing similar things to you, you can make recommendations that keep those people in that family of content creators and see more watch time from them. And see more views from them and see more community building, because as you build this up, you can build each other up together. This is one of the things that I've done in creating my little retro squad. So myself and Stingray Gaming and Soybomb and SnapClickCat are 4 retro gaming streamers who've been on the YouTube gaming platform for a while now. And we all work together to support each other and talk each other up, as we're all retro gaming streamers to some extent, and sharing each other's content and views as a community. And so there are many people in SnapClickCat's community or Stingray's community who watch my streams, and many people in my streams who will watch Soybomb or SnapClickCat or Stingray, because we have suggested each other, suggested to our viewers to check out each other. By creating this small community of retro streamers, we increase the amount of time that people are spending watching all of these people. Because YouTube isn't a zero-sum game. Because being on YouTube and finding more retro content means you're going to be suggested more retro content. Means that you're going to watch more retro gaming live streams and other things like that. But the raid is only a raid or content creation suggestions is only the most blatant and straightforward way of creating other connections to other content creators. There's also just the form of recommendations and suggestions. A huge amount of traffic, especially for major YouTubers, is driven by suggested videos. Large creators sometimes say that 15 to 30% of their traffic comes from their suggested videos. Views where their video has been suggested by other content on the site. Now, how does that happen? Well, that happens when your content is related to something that was created by someone else. And one of the ways that can happen is just you pick a trending topic. This is one of the things that the Search and Discovery talk at VidCon called out, is to take advantage of global site trends. So this is your fidget spinners and other things like that. But there's also just the fact of creating content that's in a community. When I watch content that is an art creation tutorial, I am oftentimes recommended other art creation tutorials. When I watch videos about how maps on Earth work, I'm recommended other videos about how video game maps are created and other things like that. And so all of this view content and other things like that, if you can create a community of people who are creating similar content, especially if you can create a community who watches each other's content, you're going to build up this recommended and suggested audience, because what YouTube learns from is, in part, the clicks that people make on content from your videos. It discovers that 20 people who've watched this have clicked on this recommended video, so I'm going to rank it closer to the top. It's going to be the up next, or the first suggestion, or it's going to be recommended on the homepage to other people who are similar to your audience. By creating a community of people who create a collection of works that are interrelated, you can increase the chances that your videos are recommended or suggested in the sidebar or on the homepage to other users who are consuming that content. Now, sometimes I see people who are thinking, you're taking away my views. You're going to be ranked higher than me, and I'm going to be ranked lower, and this is going to be a problem for me. And to some extent, this is always a risk, right? If people watch one video and that video is better than yours, then yes, you're right. They're going to watch that video and not watch yours. But if you're taking independent pieces of the space, if you are taking things that are related but not exactly the same, then this really isn't a problem. And if you're just making a complete ripoff of someone else's content, well, yeah, that kind of sucks, but don't do that, it's dumb. YouTube is a search and discovery game targeting to find the cases where there is low supply and high demand. And one of the ways that you can take advantage of that is to work together with other people to expand the audiences that have a demand. Certainly not everyone who follows my streams on a regular basis is a huge fan of retro games. Certainly not everyone is a fan of indie games, but I've been able to bring those audiences together and forward and have people buy games or see things that they wouldn't have otherwise seen. Something along the lines of 4 or 5 different people bought copies of Alwa's Awakening after I played it because I was able to create this content that they wouldn't have otherwise seen. And that's really your goal. Your goal is to take advantage of that, to get involved and have your content be related in a way that has it be discovered from other related content. Whether that is indie Metroidvania games, or whether that is Super Mario Brothers games, or, AI or other things like that, no matter what the content is, your goal is to have it be discovered by new people. Because if your content can be discovered by new people, then you can turn those people into fans. Now, not everyone who sees your content is going to turn into a fan. In fact, I would be very surprised if it's more than 1% of people who see your content will turn into a fan. But that 1% is what you're looking for. And by creating content that works with other content on the website, whether directly through collaborations or through raids or any other thing like that, or whether it is more indirectly, where you're just creating content related to a popular topic or to a trend or other things like that. These are both ways that you can get your content in front of new people. And so when a smaller YouTuber contacts you and asks to collaborate, or a bigger YouTuber contacts you and asks to collaborate, this is a way to cross those audiences over, which is the key thing that you need to do in order to grow your audience. Now, every small YouTuber out there, I'm sure, has had the thought at some point, like, I really wish that I could be doing something with, PewDiePie or Markiplier or whatever else like that. Of course, you would love to be, working with the people at the top, but you don't have to be working with the people at the top. A number of the people in my audience have actually been grown from the art community because I've made connections at VidCon and through Cinnamon Cooney, the art Sherpa, and many of those people come back, and I've picked up this niche audience of art lovers who also watch my live streams and been able to make those connections just by creating a connection and getting picked up in recommendations and other things like that by these channels. That people will give me a shout out or mention my stream or give me a retweet or anything else like that. But it doesn't have to be so blatant. In any case, no matter what it is better for both people making similar or related pieces of content. If they have two different perspectives of it, it's better for both of you to have both of them exist. Your content is going to be recommended off of theirs. Their content is going to be recommended off of yours. And together you'll be able to build bridges across those audiences, because the biggest thing that you need to do is to have new people find your content. With more than 400 hours of video content uploaded every day, or every minute, every day. 400 hours of video uploaded every minute. 24,000 minutes of video content every minute. There's way more than any person can ever see on YouTube in a lifetime. In fact, one lifetime of video content is uploaded to YouTube every day. So your goal is to get your content in front of new eyeballs that might want to consume it. And what better way than to have someone who's better than you at making something make a related video? Because at some point, people are going to finish that video and be looking for something else that's related. They're going to go back to their homepage, and YouTube's going to say, hey, you like that? How about this? And yeah, maybe they're better at it. Maybe they've had more experience, or they have better equipment, or they just have better resources or access or time. But that doesn't mean that your video won't get any views. Because people watch tons of YouTube every day. The average person, given YouTube recently described itself as having 1.5 billion monthly users and 1 billion watch hours, is that the average YouTuber watches YouTube user watches like an hour of YouTube a day. They're going to watch more than one video. I promise. And so what you want is for your video to be recommended by popular users. You want Markiplier to go out and play Cluster Truck if you're playing Cluster Truck this week. You want Jacksepticeye to be going out and doing a Minecraft playthrough that's about, Mineplex so that you can get views on your Mineplex content. You want these things because the larger someone is, the more likely that more varied users are going to iterate through their content and see recommendations for related content, which could include yours. YouTube's primary discovery system is about getting cohorts of users to watch your content. It's not a zero-sum game.